What's up there, Workforce? Chris here with Work to Game, and I want to talk a little bit about kind of just the media event as a whole, the embargo and things like that. And I'm actually going to be doing this a little bit like a community feedback because I already kind of put this video out once, but obviously under the terms of the embargo. So overall, the experience of kind of the event, especially now as we're coming up to the end of the embargo, at the time that I'm filming this, and it'll be done by the time you're seeing this, I think it was really neat. I know there was a lot of frustration with kind of streamers. They felt like we were holding things out on them, like we were just being like, oh, I wish I could tell you. But just know that comes from a point of, I think there was a lot of genuine excitement this time. I think that people just, I know that Brian and I covered this for the launch of Stormblood when we watched it, but we watched it from afar because we weren't invited. And I don't remember there being this many kind of tweets and like, I think Happy said he was going to have 21 videos uploaded. And so I think that, in all honesty, it's something that I'm really excited about it. It was an honor to get to play. They had very few rules. The rules were basically don't post before you're supposed to. Don't show any of the Japanese text, and I assume that's because it wasn't screened as well. And so, they just don't, whatever terminology was in there. So don't show any of the Japanese text if there was any showing in the game. Don't go anywhere you're not supposed to in game, but I would, maybe earlier Media Tours were able to sneak into zones they weren't supposed to, but I explored to the edge of every zone and everything was all blocked off. And then that's about it. They didn't require us to say nice things. They didn't require us to pre-screen all of our videos with them. They didn't require us to not talk about any particular subjects, just that we couldn't take pictures of the event and stuff. I assume that we don't necessarily have permission if there's staff in the background, and things like that. So it was really simple. They have some disclaimers that they want us to put on because we were playing on an April 30th build, and so obviously the game could have had updates since then, so some of the damage numbers could be different, some of the skills could have been adjusted, and things like that. Some of the costs of things in the shops for the fates and all that could have been adjusted, and so that makes sense to kind of really label that very clearly that, hey, we've got some development footage here, and that's all this is. That way people don't necessarily put too much in it where they say oh, if that's how it's going to be, I quit, or I love it so much, and then if it's anything different than that, they're upset later. So that makes sense to me. So let's go ahead and dive into a few of your comments and kind of see what you guys said. It was a chance to kind of do community feedback. I'm going to do this for this video and for the live letter, and so it'll be a chance to kind of visit with you guys there. And so as I jump over, one of the things I talked about was possibly Brian and I shifting our content schedule. I know next month what we've decided is to move from 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. every day to 9 and 1, and that's just us trying to get a feel for when the majority of you guys watch the videos, because the YouTube algorithm, of course, plays a big factor in how a video gets promoted, and so having that initial kind of spike has a lot to do with kind of where videos are placed, and so that's just something that we're constantly looking at adjusting and changing. I appreciate the feedback on anything else that we asked about content in that video. Somebody said, thanks for shouting out Philip DeFranco. I know Brian and I both watch a lot of Philip DeFranco. So you like our guide videos, but you can't always tell the difference between when they were put out and kind of what they're relevant for. So we are starting to kind of talk about that. We have 1,500 videos, so it's not a really quick just go and just make these changes. So we talked about possibly going back and updating some titles and thumbnails to kind of label them for the expansion that they're from, and the way we would probably do something like that would be to go back and as we remake all the guides, because we do want to go back and update all the controller guides and things like that, and class intro guides and stuff, and go back and look for any previous versions of those guides and go ahead and probably replace the thumbnail so that it fits our more thumbnail style now, just because we want all of our videos to be a similar kind of, I guess, brand is the right word, and to go back and kind of adjust those titles and stuff, as well as there's some settings inside the YouTube Studio app here that gives us the ability to kind of adjust the way, different tags and stuff. So it would be good to go back and kind of give those videos some love. It's just been a really daunting task when I have the chance to sit down and make a video, or to sit there and edit settings on 1,500 old videos. it's really easy to just pick to make the new video. Amazing 15-second video. Because I wanted to talk a little bit about the media tour and other stuff, I did try to, on this one, just put the answer to the question up front, and I just picked the question that I thought the majority of the people would ask, put that at the beginning of the video, and then lumped all the other stuff on the back of it. And so I just thought that that was a really fair way to do that. So I know that a lot of people kind of been, naturally accuse people of clickbait and stuff on YouTube. I encourage you guys to go watch the new Veritasium post, where he talks a little bit about how the algorithm is changing, guys, and it is. And if we want our content to get out there, we have to either change with it, or you have to just be okay with knowing that like your audience can't grow and things like that. And so yeah, I try to make things really clear. Sometimes when people accuse me of clickbait, like I go look at it and they're like, well, this video is clickbait. And it's like, well, let's talk about the Final Fantasy Media Tour Embargo, and that's the first thing I talked about, and kind of, so, and sometimes it's clearer than others. Like I know somebody accused me of clickbait the other day when I said the 4.58 patch notes read and review. It's like, I don't know how that thumbnail could, or how that could have been clickbait. So, did we meet Yoshi P? Yes, we did meet Yoshi P. We got a picture with him. Very cool. And did we see Mistek and Happy and Sophie? Sophie was actually sitting at our table, as well as Avalon Star. Directly behind me was Larry Czar and Drac and Tate, and I don't remember who. So there were 16 of us, I believe, in the room, and so they had kind of 4 tables of 4. And maybe it was 5 tables of 4. There were 17 of us in the room, and then anytime somebody had to get up and either go use the bathroom or use the phone or go get their turn in an interview, the staff would kind of hop in if you were in the middle of a 4-man, so they kind of encouraged you to run 4-mans with your table. So we really enjoyed that. That was a really neat way to set that up. So people asking for as much content as we can put out, just know, guys, we try to put out, I believe we put out more content per month than any other 14 creator on the platform. So we may not be the best, we may not be the funniest, but we sure do have quantity. And so we try to just get to everything. So if you guys ever have a guide that you want us to get to, keep reminding us. It's on the back of our mind, but the list is really long of guides we'd like to make. And so definitely just keep asking for things, and we will do our best to get to them as often as possible. You don't use actual notifications, so the way, I know that today we have a lot of videos going live the day that this video is going live, but YouTube basically has a 4 and 48 rule. It seems to be this unwritten rule where the notifications kind of fail, so that kind of determines how we post and when we post. So just know, guys, that we are trying to play the YouTube game, and we are trying to kind of grow the channel and stuff. And so some of the things we do is because we think it makes a really nice experience for you guys, and some of the things we do is because we don't think it hurts your experience, but it does seem to help the algorithm. So we don't actively, necessarily want to just go grow the channel for the sake of growing the channel. If we wanted to do that, we would only talk about negative things, because for some reason negative, bashing, angry reaction channels seem to grow a lot faster. We only really put out negative videos when we have something legitimate to critique, and the vast majority of our 1500 videos we try to keep really being, I don't know that family friendly is the word, but definitely like work appropriate, where we try not to use a lot of foul language. We try to, keep it where you don't feel like you have to have headphones on, whether you're at work or you're in the car or you're with friends or with your kids or whoever. We try to just really put out a lot of content that's there to help people, that you don't feel like you have to screen just because, maybe a family member walks in the room like, what are you listening to? And it's like, no, it's just us talking about a game. So you appreciate that I led with the date. I do try more often. I really do listen to feedback. I can't promise that you're always going to see it right away, but over hundreds and thousands of comments, we do generally try to steer things. So if you guys have a preference for the way we format our content, really our goal is to engage with you. And so if it's me saying the same things in a different order, it makes no difference to me. I still got to say the same things. I still got to have the same conversation. So if that makes a difference to you guys, just keep offering feedback, and we really will do our best. So you're looking forward to today, Wednesday, to kind of do this. So I don't know. Personally, I'm not subscribed. You don't have to subscribe to people anymore. It's just a way of kind of updating. The importance of subscription is that it helps the channel when it comes to things like seeking sponsorships or getting invites to things like media tours, and then it helps the algorithm remember that you're interested in that content. So subscribing or not subscribing is kind of like thumbsing up or thumbsing down things on Pandora. So I don't really know how to explain that much, but I know that game theorists went on a podcast, drawing a blank on the Disrupted podcast or something like that, and they posted it here to YouTube, and they talk a lot of it about how the algorithm works. And so when you guys see us making changes to the channel and stuff that we think are going to kind of help grow the channel and not hurt our content or hurt the interaction we have with you guys, it's because we're just responding to the way people interact with our channel. And so when we want people to hit subscribe more often, we look at, well, what did we do different? Is it the end screens being really goofy and things like that? Because we love making goofy end screens. And so, you know, if there's 5 things I enjoy and 2 of them have positive outcomes, it's really easy for me to drop the other 3. We're not looking to like change the channel just to change the channel, or just because it would make the channel bigger. We're looking to do something that we think is good for you guys, good for us, and ideally within that there's a lot of doors to choose from, and we're going to choose the door that ideally has the most positive growth locked behind it. Earned a long rest. I know that I went camping with my wife and hiking and stuff this last weekend, and so we've been cranking these videos out. We didn't have nearly as many uploaded in time for the embargo to lift as some of the other creators. I encourage you to go watch them, but we will continue publishing twice a day, every day for the foreseeable future is our goal, and so we look forward to kind of covering even more of this in the months to come, and I'm sure the end of June into July will be nuts. Yes. You're guessing that we have no control over the 5th video. Yeah. So when we talk about the 4 and 48, we don't know what we have no idea what video is going to be the one that gets dropped out of notifications. And so just know that, like, when it comes to the embargo, if you have favorite creators, go check out their channels this week. Especially like Larry's Aren't Happy. I know who said they were listing, it was like 17 and 21 videos or something goofy, and so definitely go check them out, because it's possible that some of that's been kind of hidden, and keep an eye on them for a few days if you want to see more stuff that they posted, because it may not show up in your home page or your suggested or something like that, and it's probably out there. And we'll try to, I know that we're going to go out there and try to actively look for content where they got different interview questions than us and things like that. And so we're probably going to be reacting things and compiling things. I'm sure other people will be doing the same. There's a lot of information to troll through. So let's do this. But we do try to avoid burning ourselves out. And yeah, so... Yoshi is a Machine, 37 interviews. Oh my gosh, he looked so tired, but still very, very happy. After the event ended, our interview actually ended up taking place after the event officially ended, so everybody left but us, and then met us up for dinner later, and he was standing outside, and Brian and I were standing there just chatting, and and I could see him kind of overhearing us and smiling, so he's clearly having fun with this. I cannot believe that he turned around and had a live letter the next day, so way to go, especially for that live letter to have so many technical difficulties. I really felt bad for them and the team. They put a ton in for us, and they did not have to do this, and I really appreciate the effort the Square Enix team puts into this community. So fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. So our videos are very informative. That is really the goal here. So if you guys ever have a topic, I feel like I just said this, but if you ever have a topic that you want us to cover more of, just keep asking. And seriously, just keep doing that. I cannot tell you guys enough, like, we do this for the comment section. So whether we reply directly to your comment or not, it's gotten nuts to the point where, like, my phone doesn't seem to catch all the comments anymore. So sometimes I'll have a video, I'm like, wow, that video got no comments. And then I go look, and you guys have 50, 60, 100 comments on there that I haven't seen. So, like, we seem to be getting a point. I know for a while when we first started the channel, there's like a subscription tab in here where it like helps you like see who else subscribed that has their settings set to public. And so you can kind of see this, and you can get familiar with different names, but eventually your channel gets big enough that that list doesn't show them all anymore. And so this is kind of the same thing where, like, we really are trying to keep up with the comments, and so definitely we appreciate them more than you guys know. This is what we do this for. Brian and I can talk to video games together. We can talk about this together all the time. We've known each other a very long time, and he doesn't live that far from me, and our wives love that we have each other to talk about video games with. So, you know, that's something that we choose to then go put it on YouTube because it opens up another set of possibilities where we can now talk about it with you guys, and we can now at this point get invited to a media tour, which was super cool and unexpected, and just an immense amount of joy to get to go do things like this. And so thank you guys. This has been awesome, and we look forward to kind of seeing where this goes from here, and if we can put out more content, we will. Unfortunately, Brian and I have had to also, do things like have other careers because YouTube is not that for us. But if we could switch this to game to work, we would do that in a heartbeat. But that's just, it's been a lot of fun, and we really appreciate everything you guys do to just really build a community that we're just as excited to be a part of as I hope that you are. So my name's Chris with Work to Game. I hope this video kind of just is a community feedback on just how the media tour went and kind of what my thoughts are, just overall, just thoughts that didn't really belong in any of the other videos, but I just wanted to kind of get out there. So thank you guys so much. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
What is Work to Game? 30 seconds, go! Work to Game is basically a channel where we talk about video games, anything we like about video games. We sometimes post vlog videos about something else that we just want to talk about. We kind of have a schedule. It changes all the time. It's in the About section on YouTube. We also stream over on Twitch, just anytime we want to play games. Right now, it's happening more and more. I don't know what's happening at the time you watch this video, but the best thing you could do is click on the About page and kind of see if there's a rough plan that we have here